2% inside have.
A missile just tore through the hull of an oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz, and according to emerging reports, one crew member has reportedly lost his life. And this is not just another regional flare-up. This is one of the most strategically sensitive waterways on the planet, now turning into a live conflict zone. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have claimed that they struck 3 oil tankers linked to the United States and the United Kingdom, and among them was the Marshall Islands flagged tanker MKD Voy, which reportedly sustained significant structural damage after what is being described as a direct strike that breached a vessel's hull. The tanker is now said to be moving toward a safer location for further inspection, but early reports indicate that one crew member did not survive the attack, though full independent confirmation is still developing and details continue to emerge. And this didn't happen in isolation. Earlier in the day, Oman's Maritime Security Center confirmed that another tanker named Skylight was attacked roughly 5 nautical miles offshore near the port of Kasib, triggering immediate evacuation protocols. All 20 crew members on that vessel, including 15 Indians and 5 Iranians, were safely rescued, preventing further casualties. But the pattern is what has analysts deeply concerned. Multiple US and UK-linked tankers targeted within hours in the same narrow corridor of water. And that corridor is the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point through which nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes every single day, meaning when missiles begin hitting commercial vessels there, this instantly transforms from a military headline into a global economic shockwave. Oil markets don't wait for investigations, they react to risk, and even the perception of instability in Hormuz can send futures climbing, insurance premiums for shipping companies skyrocketing, and freight operators scrambling to reroute vessels, which eventually trickles down to fuel prices, airline costs, shipping expenses, and everyday consumers worldwide. Some analysts are suggesting that these strikes are designed as economic pressure tactics, targeting energy arteries rather than cities, while others warn that once commercial shipping becomes a battlefield, escalation becomes far harder to contain, especially when lives are lost, because a single crew member's death raises the political stakes significantly and increases pressure for retaliation. There are also reports circulating that naval assets from multiple nations are now increasing patrol presence in the region, and when warships from different powers operate in tight maritime corridors under high alert, the margin for error becomes dangerously thin. One radar misinterpretation, one defensive maneuver seen as aggressive, and a contained exchange could spiral into something much larger. And that's the core fear right now. Is this a calibrated warning meant to send a message, or the beginning of sustained maritime confrontation that could pull more actors into direct engagement? Historically, the Strait of Hormuz has always been a pressure valve in times of tension, but when oil tankers are struck and crews are killed, it moves beyond signaling and into active disruption. And if shipping companies begin avoiding the route altogether, the supply chain consequences could be immediate and severe. Governments are now facing difficult choices: increase naval escorts, impose countermeasures, push for urgent diplomatic de-escalation, or respond militarily, and each path carries risk. What makes this moment especially fragile is that the economic dimension intertwines with military strategy. Hitting oil infrastructure doesn't just target assets, it targets global stability, and markets are already reacting with volatility as traders calculate worst-case scenarios. The bigger question emerging now isn't only who launched the strike, but how many more such incidents can occur before a broader confrontation becomes unavoidable, because once commercial vessels are repeatedly targeted in one of the world's most critical trade arteries, the situation escalation stops being symbolic and starts becoming systemic. And right now, as tankers adjust routes, naval forces tighten patrols, and global energy markets brace for further shocks, the Strait of Hormuz has shifted from a geopolitical flashpoint to an active battlefield of economic warfare. And what happens in the coming days will determine whether this remains a tense but contained maritime crisis or the spark that pushes an already volatile region into something far bigger.